We are continuing to follow that breaking news out of New York City. We are learning new details about an apparent explosion this morning outside 26 Federal Plaza in Manhattan. This is a building downtown where a lot of the federal offices are based. The building houses both Immigration Court and FBI's New York field office. CBS News has learned that a suspect was armed and attempted an assault on the facility. Joining us now to discuss this morning is former NYPD Sergeant Felipe Rodriguez. Sergeant, what are you hearing from your sources in this early stage of the investigation? What do they know and what are they looking for?
Right now, the most important thing is to identify the individual to start the investigation. We're trying to see his motives at this time. But the word is at this time that he was an individual that had a lot of anti-ICE sentiment going on. And, we're looking at a very serious case here. There's definitely going to be terrorism charges that are going to be brought about by this incident. And also we're going to be looking for accomplices to see anyone else either aided before or after the fact of this, attempted attack on the building.
So we are hearing that when officers encountered the suspect, he was attempting to stage an assault of this building. How would that response unfold without giving away too much in the way of intelligence when a suspect approaches a federal building with nefarious intentions? What's the protocol?
Well, we go into an immediate lockdown, then there's going to be a high threat response, where, we're trying to get out there as many officers as we can to repel if it's an active attack that's trying to get into the building. We're going to have officers respond with what we call heavy arms, which would be, either AR-15s or any other sort of heavy armament that we could have at the facility. And they're going to try to repel it at this time because, you can't let the enemy actually enter the building because it could be catastrophic. So this is something that's very serious. And like I said, this individual, what he carried out is on the level of terrorism, and depending on the damage or how the prosecutor wants to go, he could face the death penalty.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that. Sergeant, let's talk about, how this building houses not only Immigration Court, also the FBI's New York field office is there. You just spoke a bit to this, but there must be extra layers of security there. And if there had not been, if this was a softer target, what potentially could have unfolded?
A softer target, this whole explosion could have been a distraction. And at that point, the individual could have accessed the building. I've trained at 26 Federal Plaza. There's times that, we have multiple training either with FBI or other federal law enforcement partners. And that building is heavily secured. I mean, if you take a look at the exterior, it's one of the buildings that has to be one of the most surveilled buildings. You look at the exterior, and every couple of feet we have some sort of CCTV camera. And with the type of equipment that we have now, it's continually analyzing people. So don't be surprised if the officers were already alerted. It could have been to the identity of this person, or this person actually could have been a threat. And that's what we're looking at right now, the type of response. And the investigation is going to be ongoing for, the next couple of hours or days.
All right, you're still battling terrorism. Sergeant, I was reading that you were there on 9/11. You reported to Ground Zero. I wanted to thank you all these years later for your work.
Appreciate it.
Sergeant.
Thank you for your service.